Red light panels are getting really popular right now in the home health and wellness world, which means there's so many options to choose from. Today, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about this panel right here, and by the end of the video, you'll have the knowledge you need to make the most informed decision. What's up friends, Adam Corson here, and today I'm reviewing the RN300 Red Light Therapy Panel by One Love Health. Now I recently reviewed their sauna dome, which I was really impressed with, so I'm excited to share another one of their products here with you today. Let's get right into it. When it comes to first impressions, this panel set the tone right away. The black panel with the black stand looks really sharp, and the branding is nice and clean as always. The stand is an additional purchase, but with a panel of this size, it really makes moving it around incredibly easy and convenient. Now, if you don't plan on purchasing the stand, there is a handle on the back, so you could carry this panel around, and there's a few different attachments so that you can mount it in various ways. Inside the box comes the power cord, eye protection, a user manual, remote, and the hardware to mount the panel either on the wall or hanging. Now, when it comes to the eye protection, One Love Health states to avoid staring directly at the LEDs, and if you're light sensitive, to use the included eye protection, or just to close your eyes during face sessions. But honestly, these lights are so bright and this panel is so powerful that I personally use the eye protection if I'm doing any sort of session where I'm facing the light, just because safety is always my top priority. Now let's talk specs. The power output is 455 watts, so I have no problem running this on a standard household outlet. The dimensions are 12 inches by 36 inches, and the panel's right around 2.5 inches thick. The stand is right at 22 inches wide by 24 inches deep and has 9 height adjustment points. Without the stand, the panel weighs in right at 18 pounds. The lifespan on the lights are 100,000 hours, and there's 5 included wavelengths: 630, 660, 810, 830, and 850. I really like that fact about this panel because a lot of panels now are just using 2 wavelengths, but there's a lot of studied benefits on these other wavelengths as well. At this point, I did want to mention that I'm going to post a link in the description below. If you wanted to do some more research on this product or maybe purchase one for yourself, this link will get you a discount and it'll help support this channel because I'll make a small commission. Thank you in advance for your support. Now let's get into the usage on this panel. When it comes to using this panel, it's incredibly straightforward. There's a power switch on the back and then only 4 buttons on the side. One for red light mode, one for near infrared mode, and 2 buttons to adjust the time up and down. The time can be set in 5-minute increments and it goes from 5 to 30 minutes. It also comes with a remote that has identical buttons on it if you prefer to operate the panel that way. This is the first time I've used a panel of this size, so I was immediately impressed by the coverage that it put out. Because it is so large, you can feel it start to work a lot faster than the smaller options, and you can cover pretty much your entire body depending on how tall you are. The recommended guidelines say to position yourself about 6 to 12 inches away from the panel for skin treatments and 6 to 18 inches away from muscle and joint recovery. Start small with 5 to 10 minutes per day and increase as your body adapts. For the best results, consistency is key, so focus on 3 to 5 sessions per week. My overall first impressions are that it's easy to use, it allows you to cover a nice wide area, and it seems to be really well and intentionally built. To jump into the 2 usage modes, the first is red light mode. This is the mode that everyone commonly thinks of, that big, bright red glowing panel. There's 2 wavelengths used in this mode. There's 30 LEDs at 630 nanometers and 120 LEDs at 660 nanometers, totaling 150. This setting primarily targets the surface and upper layers of the skin, and this is the preferred setting for cosmetics and just healthy overall skin. The second setting is near infrared mode. This mode is not actually visible to the naked eye, meaning you don't get that bright red glow or any other color output for that matter. This setting uses 3 wavelengths. The first is 15 LEDs at 810, the second is 15 LEDs at 830, and then you have the remaining 120 LEDs at 850 nanometers, totaling the 150. This mode penetrates deeper than red light does, and this is more often used for post-exercise recovery, soreness, things like that. There is an option to use both settings at once, which would utilize all 300 LEDs, and that would kind of give you the most thorough session. Now for the stand. I gotta be honest, I love this thing. The thing about red light therapy, and really any wellness routine for that matter, is that it takes consistency to see results, and convenience leads to consistency, which is really where the stand shines. The stand's adjustable, so you have various options to set the panel height, and it swivels so you can easily rotate the panel for usage from a standing to a laying down position. It's also on wheels, which makes it easy for storage and just overall portability. I mentioned this before, but this panel is 18 pounds alone, which isn't super light, so having the stand really makes it so that this panel can be maneuvered with ease and you can kind of get it around without too much effort. There is also the option to mount it to the wall, but I personally prefer to lay down and relax when I'm using the panel, so that's where this stand really comes into play. Let's talk pros and cons. For the pros, this panel is well built. It has a nice, clean overall aesthetic. It's very straightforward and easy to use, and the stand makes it really simple and easy to maneuver. Next is a warranty. There's a 5-year warranty on this panel, which shows that the company, 1, stands behind their product, and 2, believes in their product, which really holds a lot of weight for me. And lastly, it's powerful. I really enjoy that recharge feeling that kind of comes after a session and just the overall experience of using it. Now for the cons. When you go to set the time for a session, it's done in 5-minute intervals. Now I did figure out that if you start a session, you can add or subtract from that set time, so you can increase or decrease from 5 minutes, but you do need the panel to be running and the session to already be started to do so. It's not that big of a deal, but it would be nice if you could just set this panel to say 8 minutes from the beginning. Second is that it's just slightly smaller than full body. So if you're a taller person, you may want to get something a little bit bigger. But as I mentioned before, this does have a really large coverage area, and they do make a panel that's bigger than this one if you needed something that has a little bit more. The cons to me are pretty minor, but it's always helpful to have all the information when you're looking into a product. Overall, I'm definitely impressed with this panel. We host a lot of wellness nights here at our house, and we recently had this panel running back to back to back for close to 3 hours, and we had no problems with it at all. And everyone who used it really enjoyed it. Now, I hope that I covered everything there is to know about this panel in this review today, but if you have any other questions lingering, as always, drop those in the comments below and I'll do my best to get back to you. I appreciate you watching. Hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed yet so you can keep following along on this journey, and I will see you soon.